Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. We have nothing to say about this game for sure. A total of 47.5 to 48 as we sit right now. It is a 7 to 7.5 point home favorite in the Chiefs over the Packers. And of course, the news being that Aaron Rodgers has been lying to everybody for the last 8 weeks of the NFL season and did not, in fact, go and get vaccinated, and he got the COVID, and he is going to have to miss at least 10 days, which probably what we've seen. Every unvaccinated player that has gotten COVID has pretty much missed 2 games. And so we can assume that this is going to be 2 games that Aaron Rodgers is out for the Green Bay Packers in this one. This made the line flip a ton, made the line move a lot. There were some spots that even had the Packers as slight favorites, like a point favorite. But regardless, no matter where you were looking, this thing moved at least 5.5 to 6 points upon the news that Aaron Rodgers is going to be out and that Jordan Love is going to be taking over. Brad, sometimes teams let you know what they think about a player. We knew the Colts hated Jacob Eason forever because they did everything they could to possibly not play this guy every single way possible. They did not want to play Jacob Eason. Sooner or later, they ended up releasing Jacob Eason earlier this year. The Colts let us know. I think the Packers have also let us know that they don't really think Jordan Love's any good and that he can't play, because whenever we look here, this is a dude that has had opportunities. Aaron Rodgers talked crap about this team for months in the offseason, said he didn't want to play there. Trade me, get me out of here. And they never once said that Jordan Love is our quarterback. They never once indicated that they were going to go with Jordan Love. I think they've tipped their hand. I don't think they think he can play in this league. And so I'm not for sure that I wouldn't lay the money here, but it looks like you are going to back Jordan Love in this game.
Yeah, you could also say they didn't want to walk away from probably one of the best quarterbacks of all time, right? It's not easy to just let him walk out the door. Like the Colts did that with Peyton Manning, and he went and won a Super Bowl.
But did they trade up to get? Did they trade up in the first round to take the guy that they have, rotting away on the bench? But anyway, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what Jordan Love is, to be honest. We've got preseason, and he had a low A dot in preseason, if that's helpful. I never watched him in college, but people say he wasn't that good in college. So I don't know. I just think 2 things. One, I like the backup quarterback. You don't have tape on someone, and there isn't proper tape on Jordan Love here, and he is mobile. He does have a good coaching staff, so I would be hopeful against this Kansas City team. He can put up some points, right? We just saw Danny Dimes with no weapons whatsoever. He came in with no weapons, no offensive line, and he still, he put up enough to cover. They should have this elite offensive line. They should keep Love clean. He's got his weapons back for the first time, except Tonyan. They should have a full wide receiving core. So I would be hopeful he can score some points. And then on the other side of the ball, I think the Chiefs look lost. Right, the Giants are not a good defense, but they were giving up pressure. He was forcing the ball downfield when there's 2 deep safeties and there's no play there. He's bailing from good pockets. To me, the Chiefs look a little bit broken right now, and I just don't think they should be laying 7.5 to a team that's better than them in everywhere except the quarterback, really.
Stephen, we take a look here, and as Brad mentioned, I don't know if it's Andy Reid's lost his fastball. I don't know if there's a combination of that and Patrick Mahomes trying to do too much. I was listening to the radio broadcast of the game this past week, and Kurt Warner was just saying, look, he is 10 times the athlete that I ever was, but I can tell when a guy has bad footwork and he's not doing the fundamentals correctly. And Patrick Mahomes is not doing the fundamentals correctly. That's why he's missing all these open throws, throwing behind guys, doing all this stuff, because he's not just setting his feet and throwing the ball when he doesn't have to throw on the move. He doesn't have to make a fancy throw, and he's still trying to do that as it is anyway. And again, I don't think Andy Reid's calling some very good plays either right now to kind of help this guy ease back into being more confident and being a little bit more successful in this. And so you do see this move to a touchdown on the other side of a touchdown in most of the spots that are out there. And do you think that move's appropriate, or do you think that this is a little bit of an overreaction?
Well, some people with very large bankrolls rejected anything over 7.5 when this opened back up at 8 and 8.5 at a couple of spots for what that's worth. So they thought it was too many points for the Chiefs at that point. I think that now we're sitting at 7.5 total of 48. This would typically be a slam dunk teaser situation for the Kansas City Chiefs to get them at -1.5. And our senior writer, Mo Nawara, astutely points out the only thing keeping us from having this be a slam dunk teaser leg is that uncertainty around Jordan Love. I agree with you guys. He probably stinks. I mean, in the range of outcomes, it's probably what the situation is. But he's also playing a defense that might be worse than he is. So yeah, the honest answer is really nobody knows, right? And as Mo put it, teasers rely on the principle that you're buying valuable points, and we can't know that's actually the case in this game. We just don't know for sure. And for the record, Matt, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur this week, quote, "We've got a lot of confidence in him, and what a great opportunity for him to showcase what he can do." So in the great words of Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin, the Isley Brothers, and Stephen Stills, love the one you're with.
I mean, yes, it's also, could you imagine if we could give like these coaches truth serum and he had to go to the microphone and he's kind of like, yeah, this is going to be really rough. That's why we went and signed Blake Bortles, because he might come in at halftime, actually. And, with all this. But
yeah, listen, we're going to feed Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon 50 touches this week.
Well, it's funny that you say that. That is actually why I am actually considering an underplay on this thing, right? I mean, if you look at what we assume would be a super run-heavy approach, because I think LaFleur is actually fairly sharp. I know he caught a bunch of shit early on in his career, but I mean, if you just look at what he's done, the results kind of speak for themselves, right? I mean, like the dude's just continuing to get it done no matter what. And we know you can run and run and run and run on this Kansas City team all day long. And especially with their little two-headed monster that they've got now for Green Bay. Why don't you utilize Jones and Dillon like back and forth over and over and over again? Play a little closer to the vest. Don't ask too much of Jordan Love in this game. And then on the other side of the ball, look, the only time the Chiefs looked good last week was when they were running the ball. Like the only time they actually looked good was when they were running the friggin' football, because Patrick Mahomes again was slinging the ball all over the place, doing some stupid shit. So like I'm kind of thinking that maybe there's an approach here where both of these teams, play a little bit closer to the vest and maybe play a little bit more deliberate here in this thing. And so I kind of like the under look here of under 48. There's a 48.5 available out there still. Yeah, at MGM. So be sure and take a look at that as well.